this is exactly what we're doing tonight. Otherwise, you are also welcome to join us on 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446 is the number to dial. It is definitely free of charge if you're using any of the telecom lines. However, if you're using your cell phone, Ace Dibeto is over there to answer your call and definitely give you a call back. And on social media, we are on the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development on Facebook. Otherwise, on Twitter, we are at DOJ&CD_ZA. Tate Matome, welcome, and you can greet the listeners.
Good afternoon, listeners.
You are welcome to comment, post questions in any South African language, and we will definitely be able to engage you. We will be definitely talking about what is domestic violence and what are the main causes. Sometimes we do these things unaware. And today in Tate Matome, I must say that there was a session here at work where they were talking women in the media. It was a dialogue where we were looking at some of the shortfalls that media has in promoting domestic violence, in promoting gender inequality, where you find, I had one of the points that many a times men are on a decision-making positions, like many of our spokespeople before this sixth administration was just men. But anyway, let's talk about the gender-based violence and start from the beginning with that understanding that some of us, we already know what it is, but practically, we're not sure if we're doing right or we're doing wrong.
Yes. Re ka lebelela re kaofela re tšea ka Domestic Violence Act. Ka mokgwa o boletseng ka ona, number 116 of 1998.
Yes.
Yona, it includes any form of abuse. E ra o reng e akaretša physical, sexual, emotional, psychological, and economical. And challenge go ge re economical, batho ba rena ba etšea in another way. Economical in this sense, ge ke kgopela tšhelete o le motho wa ka ngwang harasa e ya kwa banna ba bereka e ya kwa basadi ba bereka motho wa modimo lo tšeo ke di abuse guys
monna
modimo when I'm not doing well I'm being called monna modimo, but when I'm doing right I'm called life or sweet.
Yes.
So that's another form of abuse. Ye nngwe ke o senya di property tša motho, damage to property. Ikaba re ke kwatile ke kgagola tear off someone's clothes. Or ke thuba mafastera koloi ya gago and other things. That is also lata phone ka ra metsi, anything that is damage to property.
Yeah.
Le engwe re a rata to stock nowadays. If nna le wena re tlhalane ke ya to the media, our social networks, I'm busy checking you o bolela le ma o postile le ma and such things.
Last time seen online.
Yes.
All those kinds.
Sometimes we go to someone's property without their consent. If renale challenge re tloelane most go ema go corning, just wait there and see o tsamaya le mang just to cause chaos.
Yes.
Sometimes rena banna re bone rena le di partners.
Yeah. Partner
might be abusive or controlling. Sometimes in a way yawring or chaba lo bolela re ba fuetu I have a challenge. They will call you ona le mang. Such behavior, controlling, abuse you, call you names also.
Yes.
And that may sometimes harm yourself, your health, your well-being.
But now, this thing has a lot of emotion in it, and we might not actually even see some of the causes, the main causes because I always say to people, it starts silently with a lady, and it ends up loudly with a man. Every like the Horanola would be to say, every time we see anything in court about domestic violence, a man would have done something. But now, we don't know what has been happening in the backgrounds. You know, the causes that could have led a man to... I would speak about a man mainly because in South Africa, it is rife now. Sis Pumla, the ADG or the Acting Director General was earlier saying, women in South Africa are under siege. And how do we pinpoint mabaka le mabaka hadi aor le yona le yangenzela ukuthi mina ngishaya umfazi?
Sometimes as guys, we feel inferior, and we don't want to take up challenges. That's another thing. We sometimes, when we are as guys, maybe in our social areas, for instance, I will say about when we are in the bottle stores or where we are gathered as guys, when we have to give each other advices, we tend to resort issues on acting on a violent manner as a form of us protecting ourselves. And that actions has negative consequences. Because after we try to cover up our weak points by being harsh. So one thing is, even if you see that you have a lady, or your lady sometimes is more intellect than you. So when we have to argue on points, we now saying, one more nakamsadi we position and those things. So we fail to address issues, and we fail to admit where we are wrong, to say, look, my love, I've made mess. I'm apologizing. So because if we are go the Koning, bottle stores or wherever as guys, sometimes we feel that if we apologize, we are so weak. So we are giving women power and so on. But that is not a good thing to do. We have to look back. Look from the first day you see or you saw her. She was beautiful, you were admiring her. So you must admire her as from the first day when you saw her. Or him, the first day you met. So now we have challenges, colleagues. And our challenges is we don't sit back and try to look at the good things that one is doing. When we look now, we are saying men are killing women. So one thing which might lead to the other, some men are so silent. And sometimes even women are so silent. They are not saying the truth when they have or they are in an abusive relationship.
Yes.
So sometimes an abuser is someone, it won't be someone from a different place, is someone that you are having a relationship with. Either relatives, family members, and so on.
All right. And I would just make a follow-up to say, do you think some of these reasons is because gender-based violence is unawarely institutionalized in our lives, in our societies, in our organizations? Yamshaya umfazi wami la. Ngamkhokhela ilobola phela. You know? And also looking at another example of saying, Banyana are doing better. If we look at it as in like humanity, human sports, Banyana are doing quite well. However, I cannot say the same about our male counterparts based on obvious reasons we know. And we've even coined things like Boma Bena and all those things around them, you know. But now, the status quo remains the same. Male sports players, they earn higher than the ladies. If you go a CEO, if it's a meeting of CEOs, for instance, and it happens that there is 8 men and there's 2 ladies, a scribe will be chosen amongst the ladies. So that's where one of the reasons actually could we look at it like it's institutional?
Look, it's institutional, but we have to change it.
Uh-huh.
I think the mindset must change. I will refer to my career. Well, previously, when you go to court, most magistrates were male dominant. Prosecutors were male dominant. So as you see even the judges and prosecutors, magistrates, there is a change now. Even in our department, some areas, regional heads are women. Then other legal directors are women. As you can see even the NPA, our national director is an advocate, is the woman. You look at the public protector, even though there is I will say a slow movement, but we are coming there as a country.
All right. You can join us, Kinalin Tate, Advocate Matome Modiba. He's a legal admin officer at the DOJ&CD in Gauteng Regional Office. Now my name is Mosotho Stone. If you have just joined us, we are talking gender-based violence today. And hey, you lalo and Madum. Do we call that gender-based violence? Hey, a lady fights with a lady. Is it gender violence? I'm trying to categorize it here to say, people of the same gender and people of different genders. Is it one and the same thing? Could we categorize it as gender violence?
No. Normally, if I'm fighting with you, it will be guys fighting over a girl or something.
Yes.
It will not have this hype of saying man is abusing. But we have to look at it in a way that one is more powerful than the other.
Yes.
Mostly women are, not all, but most are weak than us male persons or male people or men in general. That is why now we are saying gender-based violence. We categorize that to show that two people of a different gender are now having a problem, are now fighting.
All right. Now, patriarchy is a very thin line where we cannot much define whether this is being unfair gender-wise or everything, but also traditionally, and that in itself could be lead to say, we're going because and I will even say it, there is a saying that says,
Look,
let's talk about these reasons that are hiding behind some of these things, you know.
Rena ge re gola kgale ne o le moshimane sekolo ge e be le phala ka mosadi e be le mathata ba o botsa straight o bona o ka se phale ka mosadi lo setšhaba sa rena so leader ka bo mang lena le fa basadi go ahead ba le thoma ba le leader sekolo.
Yes.
And le mo di sportsing o ka lebelela re agana mara really ge re lebella bafana mo game je di ralukileng, for example, not to say re ba senya leina ba bangwe ba tla botsa ra shetse re lebella ka gore re ma South Africa mara ge re lebella banyana on 3 played games banyana ba ka wina 2 ba loser 1.
That's right.
Rena majita re ka loser
5 ka moga
3 or a draw ra ba le hope or will capitalize. Yes. So challenge go re rena le mo re tswa environment ya rena ke yona ina le impact. If o goje in a family where o leader ke ntate le o a go tsingile ma ke ena the breadwinner, the sole breadwinner, and o gona go ba mo a leng ona today o tsana le motho le advocate ba re ke advocate le doctor le whoever, those professions.
Yes.
E le hore o tswa mo a ba leader. Sorry, a leader ke bo mmakaga e le bona ba mthotholetša. Ge re be re raloka football re gola. E be ile issue la hore ge ngwana ona a kgona football ba ra wa ya kgona football mmereko wa ekeng ko re dula le mma ba mothatsusha dibjana. But nna ke dulang le ntate ge ba re dibjana ke a raise nka se thatswe dibjana.
Yes.
We re gola re na le believe or men's place is outside the house. O disha dikgomo, those things o gametse and those in the house ke mo bomme ba leng gona. So o kra rena banna re dula go kgorong o ka no elebella in most instances.
Yes.
Unless nowadays ka re dula di township or di suburb banna re dula ka garage ya re sane space ka kwa morao ka kwa re dula re le bagala re discuss.
Yes.
And le nowadays they were now levelela the way things are done. They are coming a little bit by bit. But women are now competitors. Because they want to show us, or here we are and we can stand up.
But isn't it choosing what we want to do anyway? Because at the end of the day, if being a CEO is lucrative than going to collect your cows, I mean, how do we balance these things? Because naturally, they just have to happen. If you have cows, somebody has to collect them. If you have dibiana, somebody has to wash them. Now, can we swap and say, okay, mommy, because that's what I'm saying. Patriarchy is a big challenge in terms of addressing gender-based violence. And but now we have these convenient choices of how we want to go about things. Are we saying we're leaving some of these things and we go ahead with just buying a teen stuff and reach?
Look, in a way, everyone can understand. There are guys, there are male people who grew up, they are good in the kitchen.
Thank you.
So whether, and now it's a career, we have to face it.
Head chefs and all those.
We want, when we go to a restaurant, we have chefs. Whether being a female or male,
yes,
but someone is doing good job. So now you can see, at workplace, someone is a cleaner, cleans men's toilet, corridors and stuff, but it's a cleaner. But when I go home, if I'm a cleaner, I won't do the same that I'm doing at work.
Yes, yes.
So now you have a challenge that is this person going to stay in a dirty place waiting for someone to do their work, that he's in a position to do it. That is where patriarchy comes in.
All right, 0800 142 446. Somebody's telling me to speak English only, and I feel uncomfortable about that. And because South Africa is not an English country. I'm going to say that to you producers now. This is not an English country. You can call us in any language on 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. It's been 25 years of democracy. And Hagir Dumelang, the whole South Africa should be knowing what I'm saying. We must be knowing exactly what. But we are talking domestic violence, and mainly so, how do we change our society? Let's talk about that more than, because I think over the last 7 seasons of Let's Talk Justice, we've spoke extensively in Matome about domestic violence, what are the causes and all. Let's hear from people. 0800 142 446. Let's hear, how are you willing to change the society? Matome has alluded to say, if you are a vet, you are bound to you are bound to if you are a vet, or maybe if you are a butcher, you're supposed to be making sure that your cows are looking good, whether you are a lady or whether you are. But now, competition is what leads to violence. So now, let's talk about these things. There is rurals, there is peri-urban, there is suburbs in South Africa, and all these things, they happen according to the conscience and the knowledge and access to information and access to services based on whether or not police station is 50 kilometers away from where you are, and police station is just around the corner, yet we get no reports. It's domestic violence. How do we actively change this thing? I would really like to hear from you on 0800 142 446. We are talking domestic violence. Tate Advocate Matome Modiba is a legal admin officer at the DOJ&CD. And wena as umlaleli ungasishayela ucingo ku 0800 142 446. Skakelons Gerez 0800 142 446 is the number to dial. We are talking and raising awareness on domestic violence, which is becoming a scourge in South Africa. That's what we are doing now. And also, while we are still waiting, how does one prevent domestic violence either happening to them or seeing it happening and wanting to prevent it? Let's talk about those. I'm going to just say it straight. Mina ngenzingeni. Into zabo izinto zabantu ababili azingena. But now here is a man, he is beating this lady to a pulp next door to your flat. And you still want to raise the thing yokuthi Babu Matome mina ngizingeni. How do we prevent all this scourge, because it is now rife more than it has been over the 25 years of democracy. People are dying gruesome deaths. We got ladies who have been thrown in the fells. We got ladies who have been burned. We got ladies who have been correctively raped. And the solutions are not coming forth. Let's talk to that. Legally so and socially so.
Look, before we go on the legal aspect, we know everyone, despite whether a person is educated or what, the person must be treated with respect, even from our different cultures. Everyone has to be treated with respect so that you will get respect in turn. Firstly, legally, if you see that, you see the fight, you don't report or you don't assist, you are further committing a crime because you can do something. It's either you call the police if you are afraid to assist, or call the community. If it is in another communities, they blow a whistle. They know if they blow whistle, then the whole community come running to rescue where is the problem. So another challenge is people are afraid to report, either because they will say you report anonymous, but the perpetrator will be informed. It's either by police or people who are in superior positions.
Yes.
Then they will give the person your details and you are in for it after.
Yes.
So there's other things that lead to people not to report. But what I will advise, and take it as people we must do, let's not keep quiet. One thing that gives this domestic violence power, people are dependent on the perpetrator. If I'm not working and the perpetrator is my family member who supports us, there will be a difficult situation. If he is arrested, he has to pay for bail. Then he takes the money that I'm going to get something or to benefit from that money. So I will not think about it. We'll just say, let's agree as a family, I will apologize. But there is one challenge that we forget. Start with apologizing today, tomorrow, and so on. But the last time, the unfortunate part is the victim might be either crippled or been referred as a deceased. After condoning, keep on saying, no, Matome is loving me. It's just, then that we had a misunderstanding and stuff.
Yeah.
By so doing, we are promoting. But even us on the other side, we must engage, be role models, so that in the next coming years, when they see Advocate Modiba passing, when they read on newspapers, they must not see or heard something that Advocate Modiba is a woman basher. So if we promote these things and we have engagements, not waiting for someone to come and assist.
Yes.
We start to raise awareness even where we are, getting our male counterparts starting to engage. In a simple terms, engage on these aspects. Maybe we can bring issues to the table and have a common understanding, even though it's difficult. But let's try to push it step by step.
All right.
Rather than we just say as in gain.
Are you allowed to call police on somebody who's hitting somebody next door?
You can do so because you are reporting a crime.
Yeah. But now, what if you want to report and you don't want to get involved?
Anonymous caller. Nowadays, we can even say it. Nowadays, we have these Twitters, you on the networks and so on. You can post that.
Yes.
Anonymously. You can post. People see then
On
even
the
to
WhatsApps
on
and
the
all those.
WhatsApps and so on to police station and so on.
Yeah.
I think that will be a fast solution, because if I'm going to report independently, I'm scared. But if it's on the social media, like the way it trends, then it has others might say it's a good thing, others might say it's a bad thing, but it depends on a person.
Do we have holistic solutions to dealing with domestic violence, gender-based violence? I'm asking this because it is easy to say these things in English, domestic violence. But now, domestic violence, see, what is it in our own languages? What is it to us as Africans? That's where tradition comes in. That's where you find that we will be saying, nah, this English does not make sense in my culture. We have xenophobia, but we cannot say xenophobia ka Setswana or ka Zulu or ka Xhosa. We say in domestic violence, but we have a paragraph of explaining domestic violence in our own African languages. Now, how do we internalize these things as Africans first, who live in a place that gets spoken in English? Patko, I'm coming to you before Ntate Matome finishes here.
Look, I think I will say it the way I think it will be a better solution. With us as Africans, let's go to the basics. We know we have a thing that when things change, we want things to wait in the olden days, but we want to move a little bit on a modern era. So I think let's take it as a change that comes as we grow up. Adopt those changes, the good things from the changes that we are living with.
Is the justice corrective system limited to only doing things in English, or just limited to just translation? Because in court, in most cases, you'll find that things are run in English. Now, this main guy who beat this lady to a pulp, and the only thing that is afforded, somebody who interprets. And does it really justify how we should be approaching in this day and age in 2019, 25 years down the line of democracy? I'm asking this as a legal challenge that we have in South Africa, that sometimes we might not be driving the message home because we're speaking to the head more than the heart.
Look, I think Renale, we have these interpreters who are well trained. It is good to have interpreters because in some instances, you and I can communicate. You communicate, you use Tswana, I use Pedi, someone use Afrikaans, English, Xhosa, African, but we can communicate.
Yes.
Remember, if here in Gauteng, a magistrate speaks Pedi, a prosecutor Zulu, a Tologara or interpreter is an African speaking person.
Yes.
In that court, if everyone is using his or her language, what will turn in that court? There will not be an understanding. But if we are using English or Afrikaans, but Afrikaans I know is very challenging.
Of course.
So that is why now in most instances we use English. So that all of us in South Africa, we can have 9 or 10 languages also. But with English, we can communicate better and have an understanding.
All right, let's talk to our callers. Patko?
Dumela Mrena le kae?
Re tswile le kae Morenaka?
Ke a phela ke
Hantle haholo.
advocate.
Ebo Morenaka.
Ke na le potso tse pedi nna ne.
All right.
Mabapi le ntho ya domestic violence. O ile wa bona mo re dulang mahaeng. Ntho e tsalang o fumana hore mme ka mona ka tlung wa hlekefetswa. Ha ntse a hlekefetswa heno o fumana hore from here in Alwa North we are tax free. O fumana hore transport ha una transport. A tla me report case o tla me report tax free. You report as tax free and then ha una transport. O fumana transport since the weekend. It tla fumana amanda. At the same time mothena ntse a hlekefetswa o tlo dula le ntate yena mo ka tlung. E ka ba department ke ife role kapo ke ife advice a ka ifang batho ke potsa ke a pele eo. Potsa ka bedi nako e ngata utlile o le wa mention something ya protection order. O na le batho ba baholo fumana hore ba teng ha ba bala. Ke ka ntho le qeta bua ke ntate wa mahaeng o tla batla interpreter. O protection order yani and that o tlotwa re a tseba ke na protection order a ka batho a tamele pila mme o tsamela 500 meters kapo ha o mbona o ska msheba kapo o ska mo buisa e ka ba lo department e ya khona hore e fetule e ngole mhlomo I don't that ke mxhosa limme ke maxhosa and then ba khona u understand e re ntate ha do duty manifesta a ya pitela high school a khona u ipalla e ka ba department ya khona o yetsa nthweni in order and that will understand and twan engotsi ka mani aska sign a fela asa tsebe because batho ba ngata ba enda ba sign ka ba binder ka hore ha ya ibala and then I understand ntwana engotsi ka mani according hore ingotsi ka Afrikaans ka ba ka Pedi ka ba ka Zulu ka ba ka Xhosa it ka ba bebe batho.
Morena Patko, is that all?
Morenaka
ke o lebohile haholo and you're listening to which radio station? Okay. I wanted him to say it himself, but he's listening to Takalani Community Radio. Elliot?
Hello?
Hello, Elliot.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Rete
Moren.
Yanda twaka le advocate wa modumedisi.
Yebo Elliot.
Yanda. You know, ke a utlwa man, you know, ke a utlwa ka mkhoro buang ka teng ka hlekofetso ya bo mme le bana. Mare a hona motho o tlang ka tharabololo hore ntho tse di tswa kae. Wa bona the problem ka South Africa, we are good at looking at problems, but we don't want to go back and see where it all started. I'll tell ke kore nna ka mkhoro ke bonang ka teng. Setso sa rona batho ba bantsho se tlogile sa gatelwa and what happens batho ba bantsho ba nka setso se seng sa bona right ha re qeta jwanong then le mmuso kenang wa refa setso sa batho ba bang ke tla explain how re nke tshojwana ha o hopola ko dikolong tsa rona pele ne re ha re kena dikolong ne re assembly re rapela re bitsa modimo o phelang hore a re sireletse mo di classeng ka je ko na le right ya hore o ska assembly o na le right ya hore o ska rapela ka wena you know you don't believe in this you don't believe in that wa tlisiwa hape le di right tsa hore bana ba tshwanna o shapiwa mara ha o ya ko bible ngwe e bala
e re ngwana ha mo phapata bedi a raro ha soro ha mo rate o mmontsha tsela kore ke ntho tse ngata tse mo lefatsheng la rona kore mo South Africa. That's why there's so much confusion, and everybody o bua ka di rights and everybody na di rights. Today I ke gone o bua le ngwana ka nka re ke bua le yena tla njwetsa rona o na le di rights mara ha dina responsibility di rights tsa teng. And how ka sheba happen that ntho ya bomme, and I agree with the bomme, they must have power ba fuwe ditulo kaofela, but the way it's done it discriminates against bontate. For instance, take a girl to work. What about this little boy only yena o batlang ba le that taste ya hore le yena a bone dinto, right? Is it not patriarchy? But on top of that, problem is only one. You know, people refast who bua ka dinto re sa shebe gore tswang teng. Nna ke hopola nna ke hudile ke tseba o pheha, ke ne ke tseba o cleana ntlo, ne ke tseba ke rutile ko hae. Nna la uswa ka ne re thusana mosebetsi. Ntho e ke utlwang ka je ko utlwa ba re moshimana re no nna ke ba ha se nnete. Re hudile re etsa ntho tseo, ene re hola mo plekeng le hore nako ntele tsa rona ne re sina mabotana ke re wa gopola ntate.
Yes sir.
Yes.
Ne re na le defense no gona o ema mo fenceng o kope sukiri ka next door. What a democracy ra kena mabota go tua jaanong o kry-a gore wena o dula ka mo ha o buisane le moahelane. Mara rona nako re gola ne re re Christmas no tama ntlu ka o fela o tloa mo khoneng ya ko tlase o ja o sa tshaba gore tla jisiwa poison. So why wonder how they eroded our culture so that it becomes culture long gore it's so bad. The culture right ke yona ya western e leng gore batho rena ba phela yona. So it's got nothing to do with legal things or anything. Let us go back and ask ourselves for ribo mang, ribo mang. And a trompo is the key to everything.
Morana Elliot, ke go kwele, ke go utlwile abuti. Thank you so very much for emphasizing that point. And it's starting to come through very well that in the next 20 years, we should hear ourselves speaking our law in our own setho sa rona. I normally would like to avoid to say ka Sepedi or ka Setswana or ka Sexhosa ntate Modiba, but I say ka setho sa etho sa rona, where we will be speaking to people's hearts more than speaking to their heads. Anyway, Stofile is calling from Cape Town. Hello, Stoff. Stofile. All right, Stofile decided. I would really like to get calls from down south. Free State, Eastern Cape, Padquest already represented. In the north, Bupedi, Bukoni, Venda, Giani. We would really like to hear from you. Mafikeng, Batwako Northern Cape, Batwako Kimbali, Ko Appington, Ko Haripi. We would really like to hear from you because we are told the statistics are very scary in Matome, isn't it?
Yeah, I will tell that, hey, we have challenges on those things.
The statistics are saying domestic violence is rife in our country in South Africa.
Yes.
What do we do as Umpagati with South Africa? What do we do as the citizens of South Africa? Let me hear from Vusi. Oh, Vusi is not around. Stofile is back. Stofile is going to be talking about what we should be doing as South Africans. Stofile, kunjani tata? How siyaphila tata? Yes, please, ungathetha tata. Usemoyeni ngoku shaya khona.
Yeah. Yebaba into enje ibuze apha ne. Le abuse ingaka. Lento abantwana abaningi bamane bethunywa ukuthi maboboleka imali like wena thoba abantwana bakho kuma uzoboleka imali. Abuse abantwana ngolo hlobo. Ngoba kaloku unguyile wena bethaphezwa uyasuka wena self uzozibolekela ngokwakho imali apha kum not say bamane uthiwa abantwana abancinci bakho baboleka imali iyophangela ongathi ungazazi uzawuphangela awuba embarrass abantwana bakho kwabamhlanje again uphinde uthume abantwana bakho mawothenga utshwala ne babe be-under age mna ndithengisa utshwala nakuya ishop i-tavern ndibathengisela abantwana ndivuye le nto babe siza nemali kuthe ndingababuzi uba nithunywa ngubani andizonithengisela siyavana baba
siyavana tata ndikuvile
so ndicinga uba mna it's not that leyo abuser kuba sibetha abafazi apha ezindlini no asiko koko kunjalo no kukokuthuma abantwana bamawuthenga amacuba ayivenkileni ubona indoda ayindala ithuma umntana bamawuthengela icuba pha ithe ingaziyeli ngokwayo ngoba nathi ngobe sibancinci besithunywe ngabazali bethu bangasibolekela imali ubuqonda xa somdala yayirongo le nto bayenza uthakabika kaloku nguye ophangela sebenza uba uyasifuna ngokwakhe imali on else asigcinile imali kuyena ngokwakhe
ewe tata
ndiphinde ndibuye ndize apha ezindlini ootata bethu kubekhiwe imentality yoba kuthi nazo awunamfunqula umntana uzawunyaba uyeva baba
ndiyayiva tata
kuphinde awunayothula iwashing phaa lo mfazi akaphilanga awunayozoneka iimpahla zakhe sayiciweni kutsho hayi unyabile kutsho lo mthetho wesikolo so ayizo-abuse ezo so yakhula laa nto ilapha kuthi engqondweni so zezinye zezinto ezimoshileyo ezi uyabona ke abantu abayimoshayo bonke ngodade omkhulu because abasekho bona kulo mhlaba ngabona abayimoshayo lena lo mfazi babengayazi babafazi bazawuphangela abafazi bethu bebenza izipaka zabo bona bebengamthathi umntana okhutheleyo because oklini befuna ozawuthi abe sislave sabo omdaka so ndisho ukuthi babaya
all right
zosiqhubekayo uba ngaba asimile thina ngokwethu sizayotshona eshathini.
All right. Enkosi Tatu Stofile, Ivagele, thank you for your comment. And let's take Vusi before I give you an opportunity to respond to all this. Vus?
Hello.
Vusi, switch off your radio.
Yeah, it's off now.
All right. Did you hear how long I kept quiet for you to wait for you to switch off your radio? We are abused at that. No need for violence, Bururaga. No need for violence. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, you must be.
Eh, yarra.
Wabana tabe ako school go sa school assembly yalo. Yone ya tsenya thata mo no hore ne hitumelo man ntweng ma Africa tshwantsa go pana o.
Yes.
Kana go kopana fela ka mmele ka moya fela batho ba kopana.
Rra.
Let's so le engwe e ka re go ka nna le punishment tse di strong go di strong go. Bare batho ba tswa kwa ba itumelela go boela go teng ya lo le ya go. Ya ya tsenya mo etapele.
Yarra.
E tsenya thata gore le bana ba sa mamela le matithere e dirwa fela again wa bona mo like di sonta ga ya lo borre ba tla ba tswa ba ho iketsa le go go nwang go teng eng gore itse go teng ga khone go ba le motsotso e le ya go bua ga di healing teng re ta di katara batho ba khona go tsa mo radio kana ke nagana lo go nno ai mo thabeng ga go di radio so e ka re go ka nna le ka tse nngwe fela batho ba kgone go ba gaufi le batho bone ba re ka re ba rata go iketla ka go itshela yalo ba kgone go bua di positive. Yeah.
All right. Ke gona fela bravos.
Thank
you so very much. I must say I commend Ubabu Stofile. He did say that he is a vendor for liquor products. However, he is taking irresponsibility, Ntate Matome. He's taking irresponsibility yokuthi ikuba you don't sell it to a kid. Utywala awuthengisela umntana. It clearly says lapha ithi no under 18. You know what that means? No touching, not even looking, not even reading that bottle, not even thinking about that brown bottle. So, it's another thing, Yoguti. Why do we bring that jwala home anyway? But let me give you a chance to respond to all these comments and questions, Advocate.
Look, I will start with Vusi. I think when we look at the assembly issue at schools, I will say, because now we are in a environment where our constitution also says a right to religion or a right to religion. It doesn't say we must not, but remember, if in school we have to look at our learners and the police. So we have to accommodate everyone.
Yes.
So when we accommodate everyone, it means somewhere we have to reach a compromise. If I'm a Hindu, you're a Christian, another one believes in our African rituals. So you see, it will be a chaos in the morning at school.
Yes.
But we will have other extra with competitions and stuff where we can link those things. But it will depend on the curriculum. But nowadays, I know there is, I look at my boys, there is life orientation and other subjects. So they ask them questions like, draw a picture of where do you get Christians, you post church, where do you, those type of things. I think we are now trying to get there. But the issue of punishment to jail at our, they are no longer called jails, they are correctional
centers.
Yes. So if we give a person a harsher sentence when we are trying to correct that person,
Yes.
what are we saying to that person? But if we are doing skills, trying to improve his skills and knowledge, then from when he's released from that center, maybe that person get the skill of becoming a bricklayer. He can either be a bricklayer, woodworker, do some wardrobes and other carpentry, those type of things, small things. Maybe it will be user-friendly for us and our relatives.
But Ntate Matome, bricklayers, CEOs, directors,
And everyone.
they can all be abusers. They can all be violent people. And you see, for me, we have this narrative where we change things to say, look at him now as a bricklayer than look at him now as a changed person from the inside. How do we make sure that those go hand in hand? Especially that we leave it up to the law, which is the department, to do all these the two departments, which is justice, the police, and the correctional centers. How do we ensure, by all means, that they get to be judged for the person they are than for the trade that they have become?
I will respond by saying we must give, if I'm an offender and I'm saying I'm rehabilitated, I must be given chance. I must not be judged from my mistakes.
Okay.
So there is one thing about Stofile sending we grew up as Africans, you know. I confirm that I was also part of kids who were being sent to the bottle store and everything.
I'll tell you one story. They used to say, "Hey, Matim, you run. Matia must not arch up before you come here." And I make this example simply because it has this whole lot of abuse in so many ways. If you have to interpret it in law, it could be 3-4 offenses, right?
Yes. Look, now, because I think some of the things is because our culture was dictating something to us. But if you become knowledgeable, you must improve from where we were. So nowadays, we are more knowledgeable. Those things we must cut so that we have a challenge of our system now. Yes. When you go everywhere, our kids, 9 years, you go to rehabs, they start these things. Where do these guys learn from? From us, from home.
Yes.
And remember, the more we saying kids have rights, we don't have authority over them. It's not all. It's not on.
Yes.
I will say this, each right has responsibility. And if you read the Constitution, you look at Section 36, there is limitation of rights. One's rights must not affect others' rights. So if someone's right has been infringed, then it means something's wrong. Now I used to tell my kids that, look, if you are saying to me you have rights, rights goes with responsibilities. That is one thing that we must do.
All right.
And check.
Let's get it quicker before. OJ, we are with you. Just stay put over there. Advocate is going to finish off responding to all this, and then we get to you as the last caller.
I also sometimes, when we are guys with this, we have men's forum.
Yes.
We also have issues to say, guys, there is this innovation of taking a girl child to work. But what about a boy at the corner? So if all of us can think about it, particularly when we take girls because they didn't have that opportunity, let's not forget about the guys, the boys that we are grooming. When we leave them outside, then we are grooming them to have a challenge.
Yes.
That hatred is there. Then we are promoting what? Discrimination. They will also grow up having that mentality. When I grow up, I want to discriminate this gender because I was discriminated.
Yes.
So the use of our languages in courts, I will say there are areas that I have observed. They are trying to use it, but it might have a slower pace. I'm not disputing it. We can try it.
All right. Let's hope. For me, I am for making sure that our languages dominate more than English in these kind of things, because we are affected and we are supposed to be thinking of our actions in English, and it becomes a problem. Anyway, let's take the last two callers. Prophet OJ. Morena. Le kae ra?
Ke monate go ntse
Bontle bosweu bo phepa.
ke botse
A ra.
ke lokile ka sukiri
A re tsene ditabeng.
a re se le mo pheo
Nya, not as yet. O ka buela ka pele fe.
kanya me mo goreng number 1 ha kereke e ka se ya na religion ya na the Matthew 16:18 church e be le reng ha gona matla le ya ka e fenya jaanong kgang ke gore motho a pele felo tshwantseng a dislocated from this position of powerlessness to the position of power is the person called the church. E kereke o tswile mo positioning
Spiritual balance malo.
That is why people are no longer spiritually strong to conquer the spirits that enters them, to lead them into doing things. They hate themselves. That person is no longer himself or herself. He is driven by a certain power which is beyond him or her.
Yes.
So that power, in that sense, I mean, no one wants to be a thief. And then they become thieves. Now because he doesn't want people to see that he's stealing, because he hates stealing. In brief, that is what I want to say with your listeners.
Entle prophet re lebogile thata tota. Morena. All right, moving to Raymond, the last caller for the day.
Hello?
Hi, Ray.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, my leader?
Good, thanks. Thank you very much, Stone, and the guest today, Matome. Thank you very much for the good program. I'll also be brief, seeing that we don't have much time.
All right.
My concern, in fact, my first concern is that we are talking about domestic violence.
and of which most likely as a man, I'm more likely to be a culprit than a victim. But today we've had so many callers who are men and not women. And to me, that is a reflection of what actually is happening in our communities. Women are suffering every day and they are not talking. So for me, that's where it starts. We need to know why they are not talking. We need to understand perhaps it could be if they were to, I was hoping to hear more so that then we as perhaps men who are trying to change and be better people, we would also learn from whatever that would have been said. But I'm saying this because just a quick one is that there's a woman who's suffering, who's been beaten, and we try and go assist. As soon as you go knock, as soon as you ask what's going on, she's the first one to say, I'm okay. And now it renders you useless. It then disarms you because now you can't do anything because she's the one who's saying, I'm okay, don't worry about me, please go away. What do we do in such occasions? So I was hoping to hear more of women coming out and speaking and Vascala, but they must not get tired. I understand sometimes the system frustrates. I understand that there are so many hindrances for them to report. But I'm saying that I'm hoping that the more they speak, the more we can be able to be conscious about these things. I'm hoping we'll hear more of their voices. I was hoping so much to hear more of their voices today, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. But for me, I was saying that the reason why I'm saying the possibility of more men calling today is a reflection of the society. Women are not talking. Why are they not talking? We need to go down to that aspect as well.
Thank you so very much, Ray, for raising out that. And I hope the communities are listening, and we should be looking at this to find a solution towards more expressive approaches rather than having a one-sided approach in terms of expression. Thank you so much, Ray. All right. Ntate Matome, briefly, so we got 3 minutes to go, and let's talk about things that we could do, what can we approach, and also in response to all these comments that have been made by our lovely listeners on tonight.
Okay, let me wrap up. Look, I feel pity for today because I was expecting more ladies because we had many cases that were reported for abuse. But nevertheless, I think maybe they are not at liberty now to say it, but let's hope for the best. Look, when we see these type of things, we have 3 places to approach. First, we can approach the courts or the police stations or anyone in the society who think he will treat your matter as very important and with care and everything. Another thing is we normally fail our system ourselves sometimes. And we know there is mishaps and everything. But if we take ourselves, see it as guys or ladies, look what I need. It doesn't need me to come from the other house to come and say, don't you see that Matome is abusing you? Take the stand. Say it. Maybe we will change. We have challenges now. Some will say men are abusers, but we know some men have a challenge. When you go to our institution as men sometimes, when our male counterparts are here to report, to us, we are laughing at them. That's another sign why most men react differently. And the other challenge is why women don't come out. When we see them passing, we think they are having a healthy lifestyle. So they will put on their makeup, sunglasses, then we'll think that everything is all right. But if these things are cut short and said out, if you are telling my friends that Matome is an abuser, I will have to rethink and get over shy. I'll be shy to go to my friends. Yes. But if I beat you today, then you don't say it out. People won't give me advice, won't coach me.
Yeah. Sure. There's so much to ask, Advocate, but we've just run out of time. And I hope we're going to be bringing another angle of domestic violence at some point to talk about people who are withdrawing charges, protection orders and all those kind of things. We still have a lot to talk about, but we must put it into the context of the communities and speak the language of the community for the community to be able to take this to their heart. From me, Namusutu Stone, thank you so very much for listening tonight. I love.